Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Kira joined Japan's U-20 team? Now, we will be talking about what would have happened in that match. So, continue watching this video to find out. At the start of Blue Lock, it almost seemed as if Kira would go on to become one of the most important characters in the series. He's the one that Isagi loses to in the Prefecture Finals. And he's the one that he meets right as he is about to enter the Blue Lock program. It genuinely felt as if Kira would go on to become a key character in the Blue Lock series. We know that he was a highly talented football player with exceptional physical and technical skills. If he hadn't been outed based on a technicality in the very start of the series, Kira would have been one of the top contenders for the U-20 team after 6 months in the Blue Lock program. What would have happened if that scenario came true? What new things would our white-haired friend get up to if he got an opportunity that big? Let's talk about what if Kira joined the U-20 team. Let's assume that he learned this lesson after he got sent home by Isagi. If Kira was part of the U-20 team and actually lived up to the hype that he was getting, he would have to replace one of the forward players of the team. In this scenario, he will be replacing Kento Cho, and we will see how drastically the dynamics in chapters 110 and 111 would have been changed. I didn't want any characters to be replaced, but since a naturally aggressive and attacking player and striker like Kira is being brought to the fold, that is the only way to integrate him into this scenario. So, let's get on with it. At the Japan U-20 training camp, the selected national players are gathered in a room facing their coach Yasumori Hoichi. He announces to his team that the Japan national representative match is in 2 weeks and reminds them that they are Japan's players chosen for the sake of victory. Joining them will be Sai Itoshi, who walks in wearing a Japan U-20 tracksuit, a bit uncaring. Some of the players are taken aback by Sai's presence, but Kira doesn't seem fazed. When Shuto Sendo rudely interjects, Kira speaks up and tells him to show some respect to their guest. Sendo tries to challenge Kira, but Kira stands his ground and tells him that the team needs to focus on winning, not fighting amongst themselves. Sai takes notice of Kira's confidence and skills, and decides to take a closer look at him during practice. During practice, Kira shows off his skills as an attacking player, impressing both Sai and the rest of the team. The Iron Wall Quartet takes notice of Kira's abilities and starts to strategize how they can best support him on the field. Later on in the same venue, Sai Itoshi is walking in the hallway when he runs into Aiku Oliver, who seems to be waiting for him. Oliver calls out to him and requests a conversation. Sai asks what he wants and Oliver explains that Shuto Sendo and Ryosei Shido got into another fight. Sai tells Oliver that he doesn't care about their petty squabbles and to handle it himself. Oliver explains that Sendo is their ace player and the team won't play without him. Sai rolls his eyes and tells Oliver that if he wants to win, he should focus on supporting Kira, who is a much better player than Sendo anyway. This prompts Oliver to tell the team that in the match against Blue Lock, Kira will prove his worth as a striker. And if he leads them to victory, then he's definitely going to have a much brighter future ahead. Sai is impressed by Kira's performance in training and practice matches, which prompts him to take a more active role in supporting the team. Overall, if Kira had been part of the U-20 team, the team dynamics would have been more positive and focused on winning. Kira's skills and confidence would have helped the team to perform better, and Sai would have been more willing to support the team and its players. If Kira were part of the Japan U-20 team instead of Kento Cho, the first half of the phenomenal match between U-20 and Blue Lock that started in chapter 113 would have played out extremely different. The first thing to notice is that he wouldn't have been the same version of Kira that we met at the start of the series. He is now a more selfish player, the kind that Ego would have wanted him to be. This is something that he learned at his first day in Blue Lock, where he didn't expect Isagi to screw him over, and yet that did happen. Now, he's a much more capable player, with a focus that is completely on his own abilities. At first, he would have noticed Blue Lock's aggressive offensive formation. He would have then marked Meguru Bachira, and used his analytical skills to anticipate Bachira's moves. He had already seen what kind of player Bachira is on his first day of Blue Lock, and he was not somewhat accustomed to that particular unpredictability that Bachira brought to Blue Lock's side. He would have intercepted a long pass from Bachira to Yoichi Isagi, and he would have realized that Kira was marking the whole field. In chapters 115 to 117, Kira would have continued to be a major force in the U-20 team's defense, shutting down Blue Lock's offensive moves and leaving them frustrated. The match would have been severely more intense, as this reinvented version of Kira was playing for no one but himself and the win that he so desperately needed. Although it may seem like he cares about the team, we know that he has a twisted side inside him. He would go on to be praised for his excellent defensive skills, but he wasn't going for that. In fact, He was just trying to make sure the ball was in his control for the most part so he could be the one to get him his own victory. In the phenomenal chapter 116, he would have scored the goal that put the U-20 team ahead. Unlike Sendo, Kira wouldn't have wasted that opportunity and would have seen his teammate Sayatoshi expressing a large amount of satisfaction in his ability to root him out as a great striker. He would have been very pleased by Kira's playing style, but IQ Oliver would have advised Sai to focus a bit less on Kira because he is playing too selfishly. I feel like this is a moment where we would have seen a less indifferent side to Sayatoshi, who would have asked Oliver to give Kira a chance and see what he can do. Kira's speed and agility would have been his strengths, and he would have been praised for his impressive goal, with the packed stadium going wild with excitement. With Kira's involvement, the events of Chapter 122 would have turned out quite differently as well. His childish and selfish playstyle would have single-handedly ensured that U-20 had a tighter defense, making it difficult for Blue Lock to score, and even if they did, his goals would have ensured that the goal was tied up 2-2. Furthermore, if Kira were on the field, Sayatoshi might not even have thought about leaving the team. His aggressive presence would have given Sai more confidence in the team's abilities, and he might have seen that the team had a bigger chance of winning. Not to mention, the coach and Boratsuta might not have felt the need to bring in Shido as a hired gun. Kira's strong handling and attacking skills would have given U-20 a big confidence boost in their ability to win the match without resorting to such tactics. In the second half of the match, we wouldn't have seen Shido being brought in because the team wouldn't have really needed it. In fact, we would see Sai telling the U-20 team to abandon their old ways and instead focus on Kira and his ability to play. Sai is a full-out Kira supporter, and with his experience in the game, he would have known how capable Kira is as a player. This is where I think the game would have turned out to be a bit more similar to what originally happens. Just like how the U-20 team relied too heavily on Shido, they would have relied too heavily on Kira. However, they were playing with Kira from the beginning of the match and doing quite well, so I don't think that they would have decided to change their formations too much, especially considering that they had to switch it up completely for Shido. With the absence of Shido on the U-20 team, the team would have been forced to change their formation to a more team-based optimization, where they would constantly try their best to get the ball to Kira. This could have worked to their advantage, as this would have made it harder for Blue Lock to defend against the U-20 team's attacks, and could have opened up more opportunities for other players to score. In terms of Kira's specific contributions, he would have added a lot of creativity and flair to the U-20 team's midfield. At this point in the game, Kira is known for his technical ability and his ability to create scoring opportunities out of whatever is given to him, and this would have been invaluable in a match against a team as strong as Blue Lock. Kira's ability to hold the ball and take on defenders would also have made it easier for the U-20 team to retain possession and build up their attacks. In Chapter 129, where Rio miraculously copies Aiku Oliver's defending move and blocks the goal opportunity, he would have been able to probably pull the same move against Kira. However, that wouldn't have completely stopped their goal opportunities, because the same would happen as it did in the original game, with Kira entering flow state and hitting a phenomenal direct shot to score another goal similar to Isagi to take the lead. Instead of celebrating by jumping onto Sai's back though, Kira just walks away looking indifferent, because he simply does not rely on any other's ability to play the game. He makes his own goals and his own opportunities. Despite Kira's new persona and his efforts, Baro and Isagi would end up doing the same exact thing in the original manga. Baro's unpredictability would allow him to tie the game, and Isagi's winning goal saves the rest of Blue Lock. In the ending of the match, it would seem quite simple for the U-20 team to take the game if Kira was a part of the squad, but it was still not enough to defeat Blue Lock. You see, from what I witnessed, the Japan U-20 team displayed an entirely different approach compared to Blue Lock's egocentric systems. Whereas Blue Lock emphasized self-reliance, individual plays, and devising objectives through personal skills, the U-20 team prioritized cooperation. I will be ending the video here for now. What do you think would have happened if Kira joined the U-20 team? And if you have any scenarios that you'd want me to cover, let me know down in the comments. Check this video out right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you for watching.